bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And this rumor about David Tennant being cast as the 14th Doctor coming back to Doctor Who still circulating around. Hasn't been debunked yet, which is giving it a bit of legs, I think. I'm recording this actually on Wednesday 26th, so I'm probably putting it out on Friday. Maybe it's over by then, right? Maybe by the time you see it, it's over, but that's not the point of this video. It's actually it's spinning out of control now. Now I was saying Catherine Tate is also coming back, playing another character. Like, this is not going to be the 10th Doctor, it's going to be the 14th. And then there's a Catherine Tate not playing Donna Noble, playing whatever. I don't know. Look, this could be the Meta Crisis Doctor they're talking about. It's reasonably credible, if very, very weird. Now, the reason I'm making this video out of it is not because of that rumor, which we've all heard, right? All heard. And listen, don't be wrong, I like David Tennant. I'm not opposed to David Tennant. He's really not my favourite Doctor. And I know a lot of people, he is their favourite Doctor. The reason I think he's a lot of people's favourite Doctor is it's the first time they got into good Doctor Who with that face. Like, I think it's the first version of anything you ever see is always your favorite and your best, right? It's like I watched the American version of Shameless and I really liked it, right? I really enjoyed it. Then I tried watching the English version of Shameless. I was like, oh, I can't get into this at all, right? It was really weird. And whereas, kind of universally I hear the English version is far superior, I just can't access it because it's just, I don't know what it is. I think it's the first way you experience something. Is the way that you fall in love with it the first time, and that's for makes a very powerful bond, right? So I think that's why he's a lot of people's first Doctor. Honestly, look, nobody expected Doctor Who to do as well as it did in 2005. Most people in the industry expected it to fail. You forget about that now, but most people in the industry really expected it to fail. So they were all kind of surprised it didn't. But it wasn't really until David Tennant showed up that it just got knocked into Super because it got a good reputation that built nicely in the Christopher Eccleston years. But then, David Tennant, who's a lot more personable, right? A lot dishier. Again, listen, I don't have any, I don't really see it, right? I can see how Matt Smith is good looking, right? I don't really see David Tennant, but he does have a lot of charisma. Anyway, I think that's what brought a lot of people into it, that it was successful, it was good, and you put David Tennant in there. I think if you would have put any reasonably, like anybody reasonably charismatic and attractive, he would have done as well, David Tennant. But I don't want to take anything, away from David Tennant. Anyway, I digress. That's not what this video is about. This video is about the absolute meltdown, the absolute implosion that, there's no other way of saying it, the woke media, and I want to use I don't like using the term woke, even though it's very, very useful, right? It really describes what you're talking about, but it does put up blocks to people who I'd like to communicate with, right? I'd like to talk to. Liberal, progressive media, but, again, I say this pretty much every video now. This year, I talking about the Jewish year, I think the taste of the year, I think the theme of the year is narrative hitting reality, right? And this is a narrative hitting reality, even if this rumor isn't true, because the reality is this rumor is very credible. What makes it credible? That Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall's Doctor Who has been a disaster, an absolute disaster, and they were in free fall. The people who really said this was the bestest ever, and they're all backing off that now like crazy, right? They all backing off like that. They all said it's the bestest ever. Anybody who doesn't like it is an icky wicky bigot, right? You remember that? I remember that. Yes, I'm the people who were called bigots. Yeah, I remember that. As one of those people, yes, I do indeed remember that, and using it as a shield to hide behind. So now, nobody likes seeing that their narrative is full of crap and it being destroyed by reality. And the reality is Jodie Whittaker was awful as Doctor Who, right? That's the reality. If you liked her, good for you, right? But in terms of being successful, deeply unsuccessful, probably for all the reasons I've outlined over and over again on this channel, right? And there's a gazillion other channels all saying the same thing. None of it is, oh God, I don't know why, but people, this morning somebody sent me a screen grab from, what was it, Mr. Trilby, the bonkers, the bonkers woke media person, like not semi-media person, it's saying that, Nerdrotic, who I know well. I love Nerdrotic, right? Nerdrotic. If there was a black person in a trailer, Nerdrotic would make a year's worth of content out of that. Can anybody bring me anything, any citation, anything to support that? But that's the insanity we get, and they're getting more and more insane. Like The View, I don't watch The View. I watch videos of people taking the piss out of The View. They are in freefall meltdown as the liberal media world is saying that the COVID mandates, lockdowns don't work, right? After saying we got to do this, they're going to say that they just don't work. Why? Because you see states with no COVID restrictions doing better than states with extreme COVID restrictions. So I think the narrative falling apart, but people don't like it. People don't like it when their worldview is disproved completely and totally. They get a little bit annoyed about that stuff. So that's really what's going on. So I got a couple of articles here we're going to read. One I've looked at and is sheer delicious insanity. It's just like please feed me more of your bonkersness. That's wonderful. The other one somebody sent me, I haven't looked at it yet, but it depends how long this first one's going to take to go through, right? If it's going to take a while, we're not getting to the second one. Maybe we'll get to the second one. Who knows? Or dares to dream. Fine, before we get into it, like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things. Fandabby Double Dozy, Fandabby Double Dozy, wee Jimmy Cranky for the 14th Doctor. That's what I say. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Substack, go over to my Substack, sign up to that. If it's Friday, this video is going out. I'm putting out a new issue of Red Ghost, a new episode of Red Ghost, I should say, a kind of a steampunk samurai fantasy in the future, in a post-apocalyptic future, with lots of swords and cuttings and things like that. There's artwork by Svano Castelli, very good. Also on Sunday, I put out a thing called Ice Warriors, which I've been colouring for the first time, and they're looking really good. It's really looking great. If you're not a huge Doctor Who fan, don't worry. Why are you watching this video if you're not a huge Doctor Who fan? Don't worry. You don't really need to know much about Doctor Who. It's kind of like written for anybody to enjoy. If you're a Doctor Who fan, you'll get, like, they mention Sontarans and stuff like that. So anyway, like, share, subscribe, comment, Rumble if you're on Rumble, and Substack. Definitely sign up to my Substack, and also don't be afraid of my paid Substack, which is how I'm trying to monetize the channel. I'm starting at Crown of the Empire as my new book. I'm just started drawing issue 3. Issue 1, it goes online on my paid Substack in February. And I really just got to get on other podcasts, start promoting it. You know what it's like? I've only done this once, right? But I really got to do this again. It's when I hear this over and over again from stand-up comedians, right? If you ever stop doing stand-up, they can't do it again because it's too hard. You got to break through it. Same thing with plugging your comic. It was exactly the same thing. I was like, oh man, I got to start getting on and promoting stuff. But needs must as the devil drives. Fine. I think we covered everything. Let's have a look at this first article by What Culture. Oh, come over here. There you go. So this is a real serious meltdown again. It's more. It doesn't matter if the rumor is true or not. It matters that the rumor is credible, and the rumor is credible because Doctor Who is in a disaster. Doctor Who is in a disaster because of Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall, who have done breathtakingly terrible jobs with it. Right, just unbelievably bad. How bad? Making Boris Johnson look good. And I don't live in England, right? I don't live in England. I just catch the headlines. He is being eviscerated, right? And is he being having his ass handed to him, right? Not in a good way. I think normally in elitist clubs, having your ass handed to you is something that you would pay highly for. This time not so. And so this is not a part of political broadcast, but boy, that guy is getting a relentless ball kicking. Worse than Biden, incredibly. I don't know. Blows my mind. Anyway, 10 things. It's narrative hitting reality. That's what this year is. 10 things RTD's return won't bring to Doctor Who. Yeah, no, they're not being about David Tennant because it was stunning and brave, and we all loved it. It wasn't a failure. Just less people watch TV. That's it. Just let's people watch TV. That's it. No. Let's people watch TV because all of TV is shit like Chibnall's Doctor Who, right? That's why. It won't have David Tennant in it, but it will be marvelous. Now listen, I don't think it's going to have David Tennant in it, but it might, right? It's a real possibility. And the longer it goes without being denied, the more real that possibility is. There's a lot of damage control got to be done, which means you got to admit there's damage. And they don't like that. Earlier this month, it was revealed that Russell D. Davies, former partner in crime, Phil Collison, is also returning in Doctor Who as production begins on the 14th series, or the first series, I think it's going to be. It's turning into quite a comeback tour. Let's hope it's more Elvis Presley in '68 than the Vegas years. Yeah. Why is he coming back? Why are they coming? Remind me. Why? What? I can't quite hear you. Oh, because you're silent. That's why I can't hear you. Cole's involvement has particularly led to speculation over what other elements RTD2 era should bring. Should we expect Murray Gold to come back? God, I hope so. To score the series, it remains to be seen. But what should be clear to anyone who's followed Russell T's career over the past few decades is he's only doing this because he has a new vision. No, not true. He's not only doing this because he has a new vision. He's mainly doing this because Chibnall Whittaker blew up Doctor Who, and it's affecting him and a lot of people who he's friendly with very negatively. Why do I think that? Because that's what he said would happen if it failed, right? In 2017, he gave an interview. I got it on my channel. Go look up Russell D. Davies. I'm sure it'll come up with the video, on my channel. He did a video saying that if it fails, of course it's not going to. Of course it's going to be stunning and brave and the best as ever. If it fails, it's going to affect me, Russell D. Davies, going to affect David Tennant, going to affect Christopher Eccleston, going to affect Billy Piper. It's going to, and it's failed! Morons! It has failed! Really? 3.21 overnight for a holiday special. I did say Christmas special, but heaven forfend. So in the past 4 years, Davies has written about MP Jeremy Thorpe. That's actually his best work, I think. A Very British Scandal, is that what's called? Absolutely, and I love a lot of his work, right? And his plot to have his lover killed. I didn't think he tried to have him killed. I just had him intimidated. Charted the rise of fascism in a dystopian future UK. But that was like everybody else working in the entertainment industry losing their mind over Donald Trump and now being proved completely wrong, right? Remember all the disasters he talked about in years and years, like how the world's going to be imploded by being run by terrible people. Well, he was right, but he got the terrible people wrong. The terrible people are the people who's always been right. It's the Joe Bidens and the Boris Johnsons of the world. I think other people you want to keep away. Yeah, if anybody wants to invent a piece of technology, right, that would scan someone's brain and see if there any desire to be in politics or any inadequacy they feel, right? And they should just do that, right? And then if you have that, you can't be a politician, right? That's what I think. Or I heard of Tim Paul the other day that somebody had the idea that to go into politics you have a 4-year term limit and you have to become bankrupt after it, right? You know it's going to hurt you, right? I think I'm on board for that. So yeah, listen, years and years. The documented AIDS pandemic, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Opened my eyes to a lot of things that I lived through that I didn't realize at the time. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And recently a biopic on soap star Noel Gordon. I have no idea what that's going to be about. I mean, obviously about that. That's a varied and diverse list of credits. Whatever he's bringing to Doctor Who is going to be brand new. And I do believe it. I agree with it. I do think it's going to be brand new, but maybe it's not. So in the absence of information to the contrary, let's discuss the RTD2 era is not going to be, because we don't know anything. David Tennant full-time. Really, mate? Oh, God. Now I just want it to be true. And then to see your face. Even I'm not going to see it. According to a credible source, BBC source. And again, what made it credible? is that the source said, "Oh, we're the same source that says Sacha Dhawan was going to be the master before as the master." If they're telling the truth about that, then they're a credible source. But if they're not telling the truth about David Tennant, they're probably not telling the truth about Sacha Dhawan either. All you know is what you've been told. That's something really important to understand. You only ever know what you've been told. You don't really know what, unless you see something yourself. You don't really know what you see. Know what you know. That's a really important thing in life. David Tennant has been cast as the 14th Doctor, making him the first actor to play 2 incarnations, but actually 3, technically speaking, of the character. Now, again, if this is real, I do think it's very probable it's the Meta Crisis Doctor, right? Especially if Jodie Whittaker's going to go out with a multiverse thing, old sock, all that nonsense. Especially if that's going to happen. I think seeing a Meta Crisis Doctor might be a way of unraveling this nonsense and indicating that Jodie Whittaker may not have been our universe's Doctor Who after all. I can see it, and also I can see that the people want to like Doctor Who, and they know Doctor Who was good with David Tennant, right? It's damage control. So the rumor is he's going to be the Doctor for like 2 or 3 specials, and then hand over to a 15th Doctor, right? So, I think it's the rumor is it's going to be a massive reboot. And as I said, Catherine Tate is also rumored to be playing not Donna Noble in it. So I don't know. Could it be another universe Donna Noble? Maybe. I don't know. Isn't it? According to the time of the Doctor, between the opening of Journey's End and the closing moments of End of Time Part 2, David Tennant is playing the 11th Doctor regenerated. No, with the same face. No. Oh, jeez. Really? Okay. It's the End of Time, and he gets shot by a Dalek at the end of the episode, and it's one of the best cliffhangers ever. Where he's like, "I'm regenerating." It starts with freaking awesome. Okay, that was one of the greatest cliffhangers ever. And then the resolution, he takes his Ultron and the regeneration energy, boom, and puts into his hand he cut off in his first episode, which then regenerates into another David Tennant, that then goes off with Rose in another universe. He's not playing a different fucking idiots, okay? Oh, God, I wish I could speak with so much confidence on things I know absolutely nothing about. Really? What a moron, okay? So, I'm absolutely right about not understanding something right about David Tennant too. No, you're not, mate. No, you're not. And again, the reason you're freaking out is because it's a credible rumor. That's the reason, right? That is the absolute reason you're freaking out, because it's a credible rumor. 11 Doctor with it. No, moron. No. The rumor circulated that 100% reliable source of a political epidemiological. Oh, let's use big words. That'd be good. And vaccination information. Facebook. So really, God, they're so really into these. I mean, honestly, I'm triple vax. My wife has 4 vaxes. They're starting clinical trials on a vaccine for Omicron, whatever. It doesn't work. Okay, my wife and my kids all get so mad when I bring it up. But it doesn't work. I mean, it works in it makes you not feel terrible. Maybe if you get corona, if you're lucky, right? Maybe. But doesn't help with transmissibility. It doesn't work. Okay, it might make things better, but it doesn't stop the spread of the disease, because there's nothing stopping the spread of the disease. I mean, I don't understand, but yeah, so they always did. That was that they can't get off the vaccine thing. So it's likely bogus on Facebook, and Facebook is disinformation. Darling, they took off everybody you don't like from Facebook. Alex Jones, who, a bit bonkers, admittedly so. Milo Yiannopoulos. Remember that? That was fun. I used to like my Donald Trump. Oh, I miss the Donald. And listen, if you hated Donald Trump, I'm sorry. But I was watching, on my live stream last night, I was watching his video when he put out when they killed Baghdadi, and he's so unbelievably politically incorrect. I was like, we killed him violently. He died like a dog running. I like that. It's so politically incorrect. I like that. Okay, and well, we're much more scared of America, under the Trump than they are under Biden. I mean, again, I'm recording this on Wednesday. We may be in a world war by the time this video goes out, if indeed there is still civilization at the time. If there's not, all hail our cockroach overlords. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, and also also algorithms are essentially our overlords now, aren't they? I think that's basically the way things go. Fine. But I do it. So it's bogus. If we must do a Moldy Doctor story for the 60th, and Tennant is a shoe-in for a turn, he doesn't miss an opportunity these days. Although as a 14th Doctor, well, again, we may need to do a lot of damage control from the stunning and brave Jodie Whittaker era. The perception of the show in certain quarters is that it's too inward-looking, too obsessed with the past. Yeah, no. That's the bullcrap criticisms that you level at it to avoid the real criticisms that it's boring, preachy, and full of an insane ideological agenda that nobody's really on board for, apart from the teeny tiny people, percentage of people that live on Twitter. So yeah, anyone looking to obsess with the past, bringing back a former Doctor. Would not only play into this. No, again, this is all about Chibnall's inefficiency, inability, rather, inefficiency. Play into this, but it would make a damaging suggestion that the show's best days are behind it, and the golden era is way back. Yes, that is the inference. God, now I got to pull up this up. Really. I mean, again, people like this really don't like facts and figures. Okay, they're really not too into them. Wait, where's this? Where's my ratings for? Here we go. Seasons 11 to 13. I'm just gonna open up. There you go. Okay, so here, let me just share this. Yeah, doink. That's it. Move this over here, make it a bit smaller so we can see it. Putting up the screen. Are the show's best days behind it? Well, this seems to say so, doesn't it? I mean, this is not a graph of success, right? Yeah, unless, of course, can we do this? There you go. No, it's still bad. It's still going down. Can I flip it? I don't know how to. If I can flip it, can it flip that way? No. That's share. I don't know. If I can flip it upside down and turn it around, maybe. Yeah, no, the show's best. Yeah, yes, the show's best days are behind it as this graph. This is Jodie Whittaker's entire run as Doctor Who. That little bump you got is Captain Jack just before they cancelled him. Okay. Where's the story gone? Back. There you go. Yes, that's exactly the point, which is why you're not happy. Christopher Eccleston in the 60th, no chance, okay? One thing we can be sure of with regards to the 60th episode, Christopher Eccleston won't be playing any part in it, not at least on screen. Whilst he's returned to the role for Big Finish Audios, it appears that the rift between him and Russell Davies hasn't been healed by intervening years. It's very sad. I really wish there was somebody who could patch things up with them. Excellent autobiography highlights a lot of what he felt were to be the failures of the first series, most notably the lack of direction and guidance on the character of the Doctor, which I'm really surprised about because he super nailed it, right? Because that surprises me. Although if this is as accurate as everything else in this article, don't hold your breath. Oh, man, I'm 25 minutes in and I'm only on number 2. I don't think we're getting the second article, okay? I don't think that's going to happen. Probably we got to it on my live stream tomorrow, which for you will be yesterday. Hey, that's a big ad just up there. For Colmex. I don't know what Colmex. Can I close this? No, it doesn't even tell me to close it. If it was excellent suggestions, an issue with Davis's writing, or then taking part in an RTD script won't hold much appeal. No, it's not the writing, you moron. He felt unprotected from the first director. Who was it? Chris Boak, maybe? But Boak, I think. and that first block really didn't go well, from what I understand. From what I understand. It's very the best. The Big Finish orders have proved that stripped back from the tight survivor's guilt arc of the first series, the Ninth Doctor is slightly adrift. I don't think so. By the very nature of the missing adventures, the audio are unable to push the character in new and interesting directions. Well, that's more Big Finish than anything else. The real tragedy is Eccleston RTD Rift is one of the best character actors in television, and best television writer will likely never work together again. It is sad, okay? I agree. I do mourn that, right? I do think it's sad. Toning down the politics, okay? I love the way they actively misconstrue and misunderstand. It's not the politics that we didn't like, idiot. Again, I've seen Malcolm Hughes stuff, which very politically, I think it's probably politically to the right of Chris Chibnall. Although right and left are meaningless. They're such meaningless terms. You have the left is now rampant insane socialism, and the right rampant insane socialism mixed with authoritarianism, right? That's basically it. And the right seems to be ineffectual authoritarianism, right? You have ineffectual authoritarianism or rampant socialist authoritarianism. That's really your choice. So like those labels don't mean anything, but it's not the issue. Politics is not the issue. I don't mind somebody talking about something from a different political standpoint from me. As long as you're being honest, it works, right? It works very well. Like, I've never been to prison, right? And I found was it Jim McGovern, I think, wrote it? A show from last year, Time. Sean Bean plays this guy who's an who drinks too much, is alcoholic, and kills somebody in a hit and run and turns himself in. And you get to see his life, and you're dragged in, and this is a world I would never be part of. Hopefully never be part of. But also, it's outlooks that I don't necessarily share, but it's fascinating. But again, Happiness Patrol, a very, very different political. Actually, it's not really that much of a different political outlook to me, but very lefty. Again, not that these terms mean anything. It's not the politics; it's the ham-fisted way of shoehorning them in with all the subtlety of He-Man's lesson of the day. You remember that at the end of He-Man, Marcel? And today, kids, we learn. Don't squeal on the clergy, whatever it is. It was whatever lesson they put up. And it was with all the stuff. You can wreck planets or you can save them. Greta Thunberg, who Chris Chibnall takes, and I guess the writer of this takes as a prophet who knows everything about the universe, is in fact a child or a young adult now with deep-rooted mental issues. I know what to tell you. It was a spontaneous muteness, and listen, I'm sorry, and look. I'm not saying there are no environmental concerns. Environmental concerns are indeed real, but if the likes of Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker are not on board with conscription and international armed force attacking China and India to reduce carbon emissions, then they don't care, right? Because why not start with the most carbon emissions? Because they really care. They don't. They just want to feel good about themselves, which is all it is. Now, Rusty Davis, I'm very happy to hear his political outlook, even though at times it's bollocks. Years and years was complete bollocks, but at least it's woven around real characters, drama, and story. Unlike Chris Chibnall's stuff, which again there is no character, drama, or story in this stuff. So it was the platforming of politics. I would say ideology over politics. That was it. That was that story where they introduced the idea that men give birth to boys and girls give birth to girls. No. And that was the same episode when Jodie Whittaker gave a very unconvincing speech about how much she likes science, next to Segun Akula's very, very underwhelming music in the background, right? And again, Segun Akula, would not have that job if he was white and his name was, John Trent. Okay, he would. That's the only reason he had it, because these are the people that are actually racist. So anyway, let's hear what their point is. Doctor Who's too political these days, they cry. No, we don't, you lying cunts. Okay? No, we don't. I mean, I guess some people do. It's too woke. They're different things. Okay? When you say that men and women are interchangeable and you can have a female penis and a male vagina, that's too woke. Okay? Now, let me be clear. If you're somebody who has a penis and you feel you're a woman, that's groovy, baby. Groovy. Let the good times roll. Whatever you like. Okay? I don't need to agree with you, right? Okay, I believe God appeared at Mount Sinai and gave about 2.5 bits of the first was it quarter of a book to the Israelites, right? I believe wacky stuff. I don't need you to believe it. Right? It doesn't bother me if you don't believe it. We can all believe different things and just live and let live, baby. Basically how we were until, well, I was going to say 2015, but I think The Rock really set in about 5 years before that. All right, this was a good 10 years coming. The politically messing is too on the nose. Well, it is too on the nose. Okay, yeah. Did we have a Jeremy Corbyn-like figure, like a left-wing figure who was an evil politician? No, we didn't. We just had a weirdly American industrialist. Who could have that been? Who was actually the best part of Chris Chibnall's Doctor Who? I mean, I like Chris Noth. Massive pervert and abuser though he may be. I don't think I like him person. That's not the word count to list all political elements of the show's past, but look at some of Russell Davies' previous work. World War III has villainous aliens engineering a war from inside Downing Street to get their hands on precious minerals while talking of weapons of massive destruction. Yes! Brilliant! Yes, that was brilliant. That's how you do it, right? That's how you do it, and it was good. Because, bottom line, we were looking at these awesome new aliens, right? And it was fun, and there were characters, and you liked, the future Prime Minister. You liked everybody, right? Mickey, the drum with Mickey and Jackie at the end of the cliffhanger. Yes! Yes! And done well with the political analogy. Yes, I love that. Yeah, Chris Chibnall's like, you can break planets, or you can save planets, or you can wreck them. No, after a turgid episode, somebody going, Biddy! No! It's on the. It's garbage. Oh, garbage compared to gold. Okay, I'm sorry. His most recent work, It's a Sin, resonated strongly last year, reframing the 8th crisis as what it was. A pandemic that killed too many young people. No, it wasn't young people. It killed too many people. Moron. And it... All right, by the way, in my opinion, one of the sins in It's a Sin, which really upsets me, right? Because I take responsibility because this is my world, right? People call AIDS a gay plague, right? God sending... Now, I think everything is from God because I think God is infinite. I think a cold is a plague from God. I think everything is a plague from God, right? That's because it's something infinite. There's nothing divisible from God, right? And clearly, the Old Testament, if you look at it even in a cursory way, is not LGBTQ plus friendly, right? The God represented in the Old Testament is not a fan of same-sex relations. I think that's a fair statement, right? He's also not a fan of hypocrisy, callousness, cruelty. He's not a big fan of that. So I understand nobody knew how it's transmissible at the time. But I really genuinely think, rather than religious people standing out and going wagging, see, God was coming for you, which it's not entirely an argument I disagree with, right? And it's not about being gay. I think it's more about the attitude towards sex, which if episode 1 of It's a Sin was a fair representation, as I think it was, I don't think that's what sex is for, right? Fun though it may be, I do not think that is what sex is for. But but I think it was a religious obligation. I saw all these, and I think this is 100% accurate, right? It's a sin had all these people dying in hospital alone, dying of shame. That's what I like. Man, that upset me because I think everybody has a religious who believes in Judeo-Christian morality has a religious obligation to go and visit, give comfort to people. That's actually one of the it's a weird thing. It's what we call a mitzvah, it's a good deed from the Bible that Orthodox Jews try and do. It's called visiting the sick, and I used to do it as well. You go in, you just have a chat with people. And it picks them up. It makes them feel good. It really does. It's a great thing to do. I recommend it. And I do think that should have been happening. But I guess people were scared. People are scared. People are stupid, and people don't really understand what's going on in front of their eyes in real time. Right? That's something I've definitely witnessed. It's like we did this thing for the last couple of years in my local synagogue where. The religious leader of it went against the religious morals, but because the society that this is in gives a kind of a papal infallibility to religious leaders, nobody could really deal with it, right? The priest just couldn't, and it ended up with him violating religious law in such a massive way. Such a massive way that everyone was pissed off about, very publicly. But because you keep looking the other way, and then things get worse. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. But what number am I on? 8. Okay, we're 36 minutes in. I'm going to make a prediction. I don't know about David Tennant, but we ain't getting to the second article. Okay, that's fair enough. We're not getting a second article. Whilst it might be more nuanced than some episodes of Chibnall Era. Okay, what episode of Chibnall Era was nuanced? Okay, and all of this is having a shit because they know they failed, right? Everything is having a shit because they failed. RTT Era won't shy away from using Doctor Who to reflect social issues affecting our state, but I think it might be done with more reality and subtlety. I hope, or it'll be done not at all, right? Because I think hopefully a message that Hollywood and the entertainment industry in general needs to get, right? Needs to kind of get inside their head is they're not very good at political analogies, right? They end up alienating more people than they entertain, right? So they're not very, you can do it, but you got to be good at it, right? It's what the series has arguably done from the very beginning. It's very true. The political subtext is going nowhere. Russell Davies is at the helm. This is such bullshit. This is such a straw man. You don't like the politics. I didn't say that. And you're a lying cunt. Okay, that's essentially what it is. Didn't anybody watch Years and Years? Yeah, I felt sorry for Russell Davies. It's interesting to see what issues are likely to tackle. A long game tackled fake news, while the Sontaran Center had dealt with smart speakers. What's a smart speaker? Whatever they are, he's not short of material in the current climate, which also might get a look in. I don't know. The Nissa Adventures. Blimey, we're getting a bit of Nissa boobage in this picture. I did just lean in. Okay. When Russell Davies was announced he was returning to Doctor Who, many fans highlighted his recent interview where he had pointed out the Marvel and Star Wars cinematic universe as fertile territory to explore. Well, again, he did a shared universe in RTD1, didn't he? Torchwood, Doctor Who, Sarah Jane, also did Dreamland, the cartoon, did a lot of stuff, right? Talking of a limited series for the 10th, 11th Doctors and a Nissa Adventures, probably best take a picture of. Yeah, he was trying to explain the basic idea of what he. Oh, look, mate, whoever wrote this, could you just go to the mirror and look here, look around here, see if you got any blood. If you have a head injury, you might have a head injury, mate. Go to the doctor. Whilst the rumours have begun to emerge of an anthology series featuring past Doctors, which I would love, like an animated anthology with past Doctors, I would love, it's likely we won't be seeing many classic series companions. I think you're wrong, mate. To be polite, modern television is a lot more realistic and less stagey than it was in the original run. Have you seen any of Chibnall's stuff, mate? Oh my god, it's all stagey and less realistic. If there are to be spin-offs, it's highly unlikely it won't be anything focused on characters last seen 40 years previously. If anything, they'll spin off from elements of the mythology. Look at the success of Mandalorian compared to the ambivalent success of Boba Fett. Ambivalent sponsor Boba Fett, because Boba Fett is shit. Essentially, like, come on, but take the man out the Mandalorian. He turned Boba Fett into a fat old pussy. Right? I mean, really, that's not very cool. He's so anti-cool, Boba Fett. We're more likely to get a time agency series that continues than a continuing adventure in this of Tarkin. Even Vinderbell and Tigme show is more like. No, it's not. I'm going to say the Nissa Adventures is more likely than Vinderbell and Tigme. I don't even know who Tigme is. Man. Yeah, so no. Oh, was that 7? Oh, man. Now the internet slowed down. It doesn't even want to go to the next page, right? It's saying, no, please don't make me. Number 6, Torchwood. Well, you're not going to be seeing that because Captain Jack, was it John Barrowman, Council Beyond Council. You're never getting that release from Big Finish, the absent friend. You're never getting that. That was Nick Briggs's message this week. Until the BBC makes them kosher again, right? You're never ever going to get that release. Bit of a shame, really. All things considered, and it's just again the lack of moral censor for the woke Twitterati just disgusts me. Like, he went out on a limb for you, he helped you out, and now you all threw him under the bus. Disgraceful. On the subject of spin-offs, some fans may be hoping for a return of Rusty May Herald, a return for everyone's favourite sci-fi shagfest, Torchwood. It won't. The series went off air back in 2011 after deeply flawed and overlong, it was overlong, transatlantic co-production Miracle Day. Despite cliffhanger ending, no one wanted another outing from the team. It's coming for 11 years since Torchwood was last on TV, and it was never a massive hit. Yes, it was. I disagree. Yes, it was. Children of Earth was certainly the high point. I agree with you there. But also, season 2, written by Chibnall, wasn't bad at all. I don't understand it. But it doesn't live long in the popular imagination. 11 years is a long time for something that's been off there, especially in the context of a heavy decade. You don't understand British TV, mate, okay? Torchwood on the Radio Times cover would get viewers, right? Especially, sure, the X-Files came back after 18 years, but that was a show. That show was massive in its day. Torchwood just doesn't have the same cultural cachet or nostalgic. You're talking out your ass. Yeah, maybe not in America. In the UK, it did. And that's where we get to the elephant room. John Barrowman's inappropriate on-set behaviour. Who's the victim again? Who's the complainant? No one. No one. Absolutely no one. You are the complainant, right? You woke skulls. You people without any morality, will grab on any morality to make yourselves feel not like the scum that you are. You are the scum that you are. When it resurfaced in the wake of Noel Clarke's allegations, I'm so glad Channel 4's doing a documentary about that there's a reason why the Twitterati aren't happy about it. Barrowman initially played ball, made apologetic statements and staying out of the limelight. For many fans, he's still persona non grata. You're not fans, okay? None of you are fans. Anybody who John Barrowman is persona non grata for is not a fan of Doctor Who, certainly not a fan of Torchwood. You're a small-minded hate mob, okay? I can't think anything further from what Doctor Who is, right? Them being into council culture. It will take a huge potential hurdle for Torchwood to come back to tackle. No, it's many fans and a few piss babies working at the BBC, the Twitterati. Not many fans. You convinced yourselves that you're everyone. You're not. You're genuinely not. It's the bizarrest thing. Boys, that was number 6. Number five, the same old format. Here, I do actually agree with them. I think it's going to be something different. I'm excited to know what it will be. By the time David Tennant's third series, the rigid format of the RTD years was beginning to feel stayed. I don't think so. I think it really worked, right? And they kept changing it up. I don't think it felt stayed at all. The present-day past adventures, alien planets, space celebrity historicals, both Stephen Moffat and Chris Chibnall hasn't. As experiment with moving the format on from this, but have fallen back to the reliable template. No, Chris Chibnall hasn't. What? No, he hasn't. Again, you lying cunt. It's the only thing I can really think to say. Russell D. Davies will Russell D. Davies do the same? It remains to be seen, but we've not even had his first episodes yet. However, on launching a new series, he'll be looking to do something fresh. Possible 14th Doctor and actor in years and years. And it's a sin. Lydia West. Fuck off. Okay, I'm telling it now. Russell, I love you. I really do. I love your work. I have a lot of faith in you. I think if you cast Lydia West, it's going to fail. I don't think she's a bad actress. I think she's wrong for the role. It's going to fail. As said, Russell will bring a modern Twister series. They did in 2005. It's what he did when he bought back in 2005, and a lot has changed in the interim 17 years. None of it good, and most of it because of people like this, right? None of it good. Whatever the modern twist is, it's not going to be the format he perfected in his first series. His successor and predecessor, very Doctor Who Stephen Moffat said that he's heard some Russell plan. He wants to scare the crap out of you. Okay, I agree. It is exciting. Same old writers. I think you're wrong. I think you're getting the same, and we can only hope that you are, right? I love this picture of Mark Gatiss. Isn't it great? Just because Russell's back doesn't mean he'll mean the same team of writers will be returning. Gareth Roberts has already asserted he has no interest in returning to the show or the BBC. Yes, that's because the BBC are full of the Twitterati, right? You scumbags like this, right? So he's not interested, right? Even if he was asked, which he would likely wouldn't be, because he's a garbage person. I'm a Doctor Who fan, by the way. I talk about garbage people. Yeah, how Doctor Who-y of you. What are the other writers? Stephen Moffat has 2 or 3 projects in development, and his departure still feels relatively recent. Semi-prolific Mark Gatiss stated his belief that Empress of Mars would likely be his last Doctor Who story he would write. Yeah, but I don't know, maybe he'll do more. But like, this is a whole new world, baby. If it ever to come back, it feels more like he'll do it as a showrunner. So who will be writing the series? Perhaps a clue lies in director and drama Piers Wakeler's search that Russell will build the extraordinary achievements of the Chibnall era. Really? What's the extraordinary? Wait. Can we just see the extraordinary achievements of the Chibnall era again? Oh, there it is. That is an extraordinary achievement of the Chibnall era. Yeah. A complete and utter hatred. What an extraordinary achievement. Russell be building on the. No, he didn't. He also said, again, with this being the metrics that Doctor Who, with this era of Doctor Who, what we're looking at right now, is in editorially the best shape it's ever been in. It's been fantastic. No, it's not. God. Will we keep some of the great writers of the past few years, like Vinay Patel? God, I hope not. Joy Wilkinson, Maxine Alderton. Oh God, that turgid piece of shit. The Villa of Dildo Me, whatever it was. I don't know. No. Perhaps to be shaping in a new generation of writers who grew up. That could be nurturing new talent, as he did on his series Banana, which featured episodes by the end of the effing world writer Charlie Covell. Okay, listen, I'm all up for developing new talent. That's a good thing. but like not diversity hires, right? A white male doctor of a certain age. Oh God, please be a white male doctor of a certain age, please. Oh man, again, I don't care if it's totally inappropriate, just to watch the look on these people's faces and hear the Twitter meltdown. Oh, I hope it's David Tennant now. I hope it's David Tennant. Some of the more vocal members of the Not My Doctor Brigade were quick to praise the return of Rossley Davis as something akin to the coming of Jesus Christ. Well, how can I put this? Chris Chibnall was awful, right? Absolutely awful. Rossley Davis is very good. Chris Chibnall has destroyed Doctor Who. Rossley Davis has created Doctor Who and saved Doctor Who. Brought it back, right? Yeah. Again, this... I don't know what of this metric is confusing you. How are the sales doing, right? How's the sales of merchandise doing? That doing any better, is it? Not really, is it? Not really. He was coming back to save the show from the perceived sins of the Chibnall era. Not the sins, the failures. The objective failures of the Chibnall era, right? Not the perceived sins, the object, and that's why you're writing this article, because the era has objectively failed, and you just can't deal with it, right? The world is not what you thought it was, right? You are wrong, right? Donald Trump was a good president. Have that thought run through your head. That's what the metric says. Donald Trump was a good president, and Obama and Biden are bad presidents. That's what reality says, okay? And this is not, and I don't really think because Trump's a genius and the other people are awful. I just think, you know, I think it's more. I don't think it's to do with intelligence. I think it's to do with avarice, more than anything else. Anyway, except he isn't. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's here to fix your failures. Yes, he is. Except he isn't. If ever, he's going to continue striding forward. Oh God, please. Please let me see it. Let me see him stride forward. Which direction do you think he's going to stride forward in? Do you reckon that direction? Really? Do you think it's going to be that way? Or do you think it might be flipped upside down? After all, he outlined his view of progressively more inclusive portrayal of the Doctor in his target novelization of woes. Yeah, that's when he's trying to support this failed era. The likelihood is we'll have another female Doctor. God, I am putting whenever the announcement, which is not going to be a male Doctor, every announcement which is going to be, I think it's going to be a male Doctor, next to the What Culture logo and this quote, and then put the name and the date. As we we'll have another female, as we should do. Why? Again, how's it worked? Like, again, how has it actually been beneficial in any way, shape, or form? Really? What's the objective metric that it succeeded in? Go ahead. What's the first one? Exactly. This should do. So the silent taste of those, stick it to your guns. We don't care how much everybody hates it, because they're icky wicky bigots, and eventually we'll re-educate them to not be icky wicky bigots anymore. Then they'll love it, and they'll be stunning, and they'll be brave. Yes, I know, right? That's what you think. If Jodie generates into a man, she's not. Okay, Rossley Davis is going to have nothing to do with this failed era, right? Not going to regenerate into a man. It'll set back a lot of the work she's done to cement the idea. The public, the public knows women can't be the Doctor now because of Jodie Whittaker. If she regenerates into somebody like Lydia West, it's no big deal. And we go, oh God. Oh, please be a white male. If Rossley Davis does cast a man and role, though, you can bet we're not going back to a white male Doctor of a certain age. One of the many reasons that Amari Douglas is a more viable for the 14th Doctor role than it says in co-star Ollie Alexander, who has repeatedly said, "It's not me." I mean, this is just okay, the three ways you think anything's real. You have faith, you have belief, and you have knowledge. Knowledge is when you have first-hand evidence, right? In 5 fingers, right? Or the world being round. even though you haven't seen the world being round, you know the conspiracy involved in it being flat would be bizarre, all right? Would be unwieldy. So we kind of think the Earth's work round. But yeah, you can see your fingers here, four fingers of thumb, first-hand experiential knowledge. You have belief, right? You see things that that makes sense. As in the Middle Ages, we thought the sun rotated the Earth rather than the other way around. That's what it looked like, right? And anybody said something different, not the case. And then you have faith. It doesn't matter how much you're disproved. That's it. There's pure faith. And that cutting of the timeless John. It's gone. We're never, ever hearing of it again. It's gone. Okay? It's gone, mate. I mean, look at the picture of Jodie Whittaker acting here. I mean, really? She's so bad at this job. Those serious fans outweighs the Doctor had the Doctor had the temerity to have a fictional life prior to actor William Hartnell, and hopefully the RTD2 era will retcon the past 5 years of mythology. It's gone. Okay, there's no way that I think Russell T Davies is going to have a successful show while in any way keeping this aboard. Now he may not actively get rid of it. He might do though, because I think he actively hates Chris Chibnall. Right? I think he absolutely hates Chris Chibnall and what Chris Chibnall has done for Doctor Who. Most notably, the reveal the Doctor isn't actually Gallifreyan, but it's a creature from another universe, another world in another universe. No, we don't know that. She was found by a building, okay? As the man who blew up Gallifrey in the Time War to restore some of the mystery to the character, it's likely that Russell T Davies will miss the opportunity to build on this new. It's not an enigma, it's a pile of shit, okay? An enigma is something with a mystery built into it. This is just like, oh no, let's make this show completely different from what it was. Like, change every premise. Kind of like. Do you remember when people like this would say Donald Trump was the worst president ever, right? Remember that? Say it there. Then came along Joe Biden and said, look, I'm going to show you how he's the worst president ever. And every premise they had has been proved wrong. Okay? Yes. What I think the Biden White House is doing is retconning the idea that there's a functional left wing of politics. There isn't. It all depends on what happened to Jodie Whittaker's final 2 stories, of course. But the Tiny Town won't be retconned! Yes, it will, mate. Yes, it will. If anything, Rusty, they will double down it. No, he won't. You're a moron. Okay, you are absolutely a moron. The Doctor as an orphan with a past is intriguing protagonist and damaged survivor of an intergalactic war. Oh, it's so boring. It's so bog standard sci-fi. The only way time to go could be forgotten if it could put on the back burner as we know the Doctor's new companion. What back burner? As we get to know, it's going to be put on the back burner and never come to the front burner again. Rest assured, it will always be there. It will never be there. This whole era is being retconned. 14 episodes a year. Well, that's actually, you're making a reasonable point there. I actually don't know. I don't know what format he's going to do it in. Is it going to be the TikTok Avengers? We really don't know. We really genuinely don't know. So let's have a look. BBC funding has been frozen for television landscape and changed considerably in 12 years since Russell first left. It's changed so much. The BBC has imploded because they only make programming like this, right? They only make programming like this, and so the BBC are going down, right? Yeah. So and they have nothing to do with the funding of the show whatsoever. It's not feasible for the Doctor Who to turn out 14 episodes and a Christmas special every year. Yes, it is. Especially, I mean, honestly, it is feasible. I remembered you used to being able to do it. What's happened? You've reinvented cameras to make them harder to use. Right? No, if you used to be able to do it, you can still do it. And the stuff you put out in 2005, that's fine. We can keep it at that level. That's okay. Especially if you want to compete with crowded sci-fi market. There isn't a crowd. There's just relentless shit that nobody wants to watch, right? The budget won't stretch that far.
The fact that the show is now a co-production with Bad Wolf. No, it's not co-production. It's only Bad Wolf. Co-production with Bad Wolf and Sony may help by the issues, but it still doesn't seem like a feasible option to essentially make 14 feature films a year. So what's the alternative? Maybe the answer lies in Jodie Whittaker's troubled final series. Why was it troubled? I thought it was Stunning and Brave. Presumably Flux and the subsequent specials were originally envisioned as a 10-part series. No! No! Oh, God. Okay, how do you talk with so much confidence about something you know so little about? Right? So little about. It's unbelievable. Well, the 6-part series followed by 3 specials, then rinse and repeat, maybe the way forward for the series. Maybe. It can also ensure effects work can be finally match the ambition of the scripts. It was always fine. We saw proof in Flux. Not really. By turning Doctor Who into an event series, it always was an event series. And the reason why they're in freefall at the BBC is because it's not an event series. 3.21 overnight, right? That's not event numbers, right? And that's really why. You're not turning it into an event series, you're turning it back into an event series. Which is why Rusty Davis is coming back. It can affect the model of a similar show that hopefully reinvigorate itself for a new audience. Why don't reinvigorate itself for the original audience? Eh? Wouldn't that be a good idea? Reinvigorate itself for the audience that actually liked it and bought things. Wouldn't that be a great plan? So, this has been a long video. I guess we're not getting the second article. But man, what a meltdown, right? What an insane meltdown. Gotta laugh, mate. You gotta laugh. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.